Alright guys, welcome to the channel, welcome back. If you've been here before, just give you the usual opening line. I'm currently travelling on the A82 as I did last week when I went and did a wild camp out in the west coast, but today is going to be the polar opposite of that. I'm going to be perhaps camping in an actual official campsite, and the tent I've got today is an absolute belter. It's massive in comparison to what I usually take with me camping, so I'll explain more about that once we get to the final destination. My choices I think just now are going to be Beinglas Farm, north end of Loch Lomond, just beyond the Drovers Inn, or I might continue up to Glencoe and head to the Red Squirrel campsite. I've not camped at either before. I did stay in Beinglas years and years ago when I did the West Highland Way. We stayed one of the wee kind of camping pod things, so some new stuff today, but I'm especially looking forward to trying this new tent out, getting it set up and stuff. So I think it's best to try any new gear out in the back garden or in a controlled environment, so make sure everything's there functioning. It's not so much the tent, it's more my capability to put the thing up, so I might as well do it. I do have my wee tent with me as well, just in case things go horribly wrong, but hopefully not. So we'll see where we end up, and I'll catch you in a bit. Cheers guys. There we go, arriving at Beinglas Farm. Doesn't look too busy at all. This might do for tonight guys, this might do for tonight. Right, that's me paid 15 quid because it's only one person despite it being a big tent, so you can drive in and dump your stuff off and then bring the vehicle back out to the car park, so that's what I'm going to do. Right, let's see what's in this box. A good strong bag for a start. I was going to say it's oversized, but it might be tight getting this back in, as with all tents. Right, I think that's the ground sheet, or footprint, whatever you want to call it. Some poles of some description. There's the weight there, the pegs. Oh, listen to all that. Just need to find if there's wee pegs to hold down the ground sheet. Nothing in there, nothing with the ground sheet. Ah, a mystery. See if they're in the pole bag. I think it's meant to be 12 kind of, or 14 kind of golf tee looking things, but not seen that yet. Oh, hold on. There we go, wee tiny bag, size of that. Most intricate bit of this whole tent. Bring these a bit closer for you. Fancy a game of golf? I'm your man for the tees. But this is just to hold down the ground sheet. I think what we'll do is keep it away from the wall because I've no idea what angle or length the guy lines will need to go. Right, that's the ground sheet spread out, but I think I'm going to flip it over because the eyelets, that looks at the finished side there. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's better. That's the easy bit. Just noticed there, thankfully I turned the tarp over because this top side's got velcro so you can open up the ground sheet, and you can actually probably fold this bit back because this tent does take a stove as well, so I think that's what that's for. Right, just need to work out what's what here, what's the front, what's the back. Find the front door, that'll be a start. Just spreading the tent out, getting the corners to the pegging points, but there's a peg, or a loop inside, and this one as well, it's adjustable, so I'm going to go with the adjustable ones, which I guess would make sense if you're on uneven ground. Before I go around pegging the ground sheet down, or the fly down should I say. Two different lengths of stakes, maybe we call them pegs. I think they're steel, short ones and long ones. The short ones I think are for going around the perimeter initially, and the bigger ones there are for your guy lines. Substantial bits of kit. Right, on to poles next. There's 3 poles. One's an arched pole, which is this one. This creates the doorway somehow. Look at that, perfect for me. Give you an idea of size. And unlike other TP or bell tents, as this is classed as, there's actually 2 upright poles for inside the tent, and they've got these wee rubber ends on them, stop any damage. Both ends, can't go wrong. Famous last words. There we go. 3 poles. Just have a look at this. That brass eyelet there is what the archway door pole goes into, and just burly about. There's a wee sleeve or a wee pocket there that the top of the pole goes into, I think, and then you can tie that out, I think. Right, we have that. I think what we'll do first is untie these guy ropes. I'm sure I'll be needing these. Open the door a wee bit, someone's standing on it. That's one in. Right, come on, get it there. She's in. I'm not too sure how far forward this should lean. I might go over the head a wee bit out the way from the tent. Well, it looks like something. Just giving this a quick tie back. Don't know if I'm using the right bits or not, but get this door open. Right guys, if I'm not back in 10 minutes, come and get me. Well, that's one up. Oh aye. Looks like a tent now. Now that bit's up, I'm just going to tension all these. Readjust them if I have to. You actually have to adjust some of the pegs, but for the time being I'll just work with these tensioners. See how it goes. Right, that's me being round. I've moved some of the pegs out a wee bit. It's slightly off the ground sheet, but only by a couple of inches, so I've left a wee bit of play in these. Can still horse them up a wee bit, but I'm going to pull out the guy lines first, and then I'll do the final adjustments. Right, first thing I'll do is I'm just going to go around and untie all these guy lines, and I'll be able to run round it, peg it all in. I'm just going to use this one peg for two purposes. I'll just pull the canvas over the pole. They're quite short ropes, so maybe that's why. Let's get the shape into this tent. Right, how's that looking? Oh. To pull this over and ahead a wee bit. Right, just have a wee walk around before we venture inside. It's not too bad. It's a wee bit slack above that vent there, but in hindsight I probably should have brought these two lines out first on the gable and the same on the other side and worked my way around, but it's definitely solid. A wee bit more practice and the guy lines, I found the longer you have them, the more it pulls it out. Too close and it wants to pull that kind of centre flat bit down the way rather than out the way, but I think that will do for tonight. It's not going to rain anyway, so I just want to get inside. Right, we'll have a wee look inside the tent. The biggest window at the rear, that's actually 1/3 of it, I'd say, is PVC, and the remaining 2/3 is the fine kind of bug mesh. If it was to rain, you could zip this panel up till it goes just beyond that, so you're still getting a bit of daylight in, a wee bit of ventilation, but the rain would run down this and then down the outside of the cover. The side windows, one in each gable, that's just a nice fine fly mesh, bug mesh. It is really fine, so I reckon that would keep the midges out. There's the one on the other side. Front windows are just PVC. Quite tough feeling stuff. A wee bit distorted, but can't complain at that. It does get folded up. Round the bottom, you've seen me open one of these vents. I've opened all four. It's actually quite cool in here, or cooler than it is outside, that's for sure, which is the whole point of these vents, I guess. And there's also 4 of these wee storage pockets. The back two branded with the KingCamp logo. All very nice. Up the top there, well, that's the wee cup for the pole to go in, but there's an air vent at the top, and I've got the same on the other side as well. And here we've got the stove jack. We'll not be needing that today. Talking the stove jack, I thought you'd have to cover the floor, but when I put down the ground sheet, you see there's a velcro bit on it to separate it, and then there's a zip, so you can roll back the floor and your stove would sit about here, but you could probably get away with some decent covers over that just to protect the ground mat from any embers or any heat, but I'm quite happy with that. What a piece of kit. Right, let's talk about stats. Starting off with weight, 21.5 kilograms, I think 21 to 21.5 kilograms, so it is a heavy beast. Only destined for car camping for me, but places like this in the winter time, hot tent camping, ideal. It's not going to be a problem. The material for the tent itself, it's a TC cotton canvas fly sheet. Seems quite durable, it's thick, it's heavy, so it should do the job. If you look up KingCamp's YouTube channel, it shows them doing a rain test and a wind test on this tent, and it takes a pounding without letting in any rain whatsoever. Dimensions, the length of the tent, the footprint is 4.6 metres, the depth is 3 metres, so it is sizable. The height is about 8 foot, which is about 2.4 metres, so aye, plenty of space. The walls here, they're about, I think it's 2.7 foot they say, so that's about 800mm in height. So what that does is it gives you a lot more space inside, and instead of having one central point or one central pole and the wall sloping out, the double poles there provide that much more usable space inside, so it's absolutely cracking. What a piece of kit. So I did get an inner for it, just a kind of half inner or a third inner, just like basically a wee bedroom bit you tie into the side there. So I think I'll do that just now, and then we'll look at that process. Well, I think today's the warmest day of the year. It's about 24 degrees out there, so I'm quite grateful for this shade in here and the ventilation. So here's the inner section. It alone weighs 2.2 kilos. It's in a kind of oversized bag as well, which is great. Got to think about when you're putting it away, don't you? So there's the instructions. I'll get them out if we really get stuck. Right, I've seen a wee hole in the pole up there, so I think that's where the top bit goes into, and then round the tent there's wee kind of eyelets. That's, I'm guessing, the wee toggles will go into. Notice there's toggles at the top of the wall as well. I knew it was going too well. It definitely looks better. Don't know what's going on here. The wee plastic loop that you put your toggle through is on quite a lengthy bit of cord there, but it could go away in there, but for some reason it's at this length. I'm sure there's a valid reason. I'll do these wee loops as I go. See, again, that loop's on a bit of cord. Maybe it's to aid ventilation. Right, time for the tippy toes and the petitions. Here we go. Oh look. Ideal. I was just going to say it could do with something around that pole. The bedroom. Plenty of storage. 6 pockets on the outside as well. Right, may as well have a look in here. Yep, pretty dark in here. Again, you can see that or not, there's a bubble there to the door. So you can even have this zipped up with a bug mesh or with the liner at the same time. But I'll get this tied back. Probably plenty of fine tuning to be done, but it's no bad. Just as a bonus, more zips, more windows. But what that does, let's get back to this window. How good's that? I thought it was going to be blacked out in here completely, or no ventilation, but it has that option. And not only do you get access to the window from the inner, you get access to the vents as well. There we go, some setup. There's also 2 pockets, this side and that side. I think I thought of everything. Right, another wee feature that I noticed earlier on. Shut the doors obviously, but if you still want a view from the doors, you can open these panels as well. Another great option, eh? How does that look? Right, time to set up the inside. Oh, it's taking a while, but getting used to this tent. I'm sure it'll get faster. I did bring my wee covers for my stove if I was going to use it, but there's no chance of that. As I said earlier on, I think there's still the high probability and risk of wildfires just now, so I daren't tempt it, but it's plenty warm enough. Right, I don't have a lot of furniture to fill the tent with. I do have a wee cot bed, so I'll be using that tonight. Well, I've only ever used this with my TP hot tent to get you off the ground. Instead of my sleeping bag tonight, we'll use this down blanket. I think it's rated down to about 5 degrees or something, so it should be plenty for tonight. I'm done. The heat hasn't helped either, absolutely roasting. Anyway, you know how it goes, guys. You're not officially set up until you crack open the first beer. Oh, cheers. Oh, that was a bit of a mission, a wee bit of fine tuning, but still not perfect. But what a tent, what a setup. It's going to give so many options. I can take friends with me. I do have friends, but you get a couple of bodies in there, the stove. I could bring the family with me. That would be a mission, that would be an adventure. But no, absolutely happy with this. Even the guy ropes, I think they're 5mm. It's marquee material, this stuff. What a great tent, what a great setup. As I said earlier, I think they've thought of everything. The only thing that isn't so good is those wee golf tees things for the ground sheet. And the tie back for that door, I don't know if I'm using it right or not, but there's no toggle on it or anything, it's just a loop and a bit of cloth kind of thing. So, but other than that, ideal. Look forward to spending the night in it. Well, what do you think, guys? Leave a note in the comments. Not bad, eh? There's my belongings in the corner. There's still acres of room in here. But nothing to do. I could set up the table and the chair in there later on, but for the meantime I'm going to enjoy it outside while it's sunny. Into the wee bedroom bit. A wee single set up there, but it would definitely take a double. But no, well impressed with this tent, absolutely. Well, my OCD got the better of me. These lines, need to put plenty of tension on them. I think I had them too slack. And here's the secret. There's a pub on site. Oh, how wrong can it get? How bad can it get? Oh, draft pint. Right, let's see what's for dinner tonight. No particular order. Brioche buns, tea cakes, Old Faithful, grated mature cheddar, and hot and spicy burgers. Actually, almost forgot. Got a tin of haggis here as well. Right, guys, it's 7:15, so I'm just going to get my dinner on. A wee bit windy now. Sun's disappeared behind the clouds. Right, might as well give it a Scottish twist and get the tinned haggis into it. I think the haggis has cooked itself in the back of the car today. hot and spicy beef burger with haggis and mature cheddar. The state of that. Smells good if nothing else. Haggis never fails. Could have got a pizza or a barbecue up there, I think, but I like to remember my roots, the wild camping. Just ignore the draft beer that I'm sitting with. Right guys, just gone 7:30. Sitting chilling out tonight. Can't remember if I said or not, but the actual tent I'm using tonight is the KingCamp Can Villa. And the reason I've got that is because the company that manufacture it reached out to us. They've been watching some of my videos and got in touch with me, and they sent me a link and said, would you like to collaborate with us and everything else, and I thought, oh great, that'll be a sleeping bag or something. I've seen some of their stuff on Amazon, but no, they sent us a link and it contained a link to 3 different tents. There's this one, the Villa. There was one that was a proper bell tent with a central pole, and there's another one that's bigger than this, same kind of thing with 2 poles. It was called the Can Palace, so I decided for the one that suited me best, 22 kilos. I think the Can Palace was about 44 kilos, so I wasn't going to entertain that, so this suits me perfectly, and it's done well tonight, and it has the option for the stove in it as well to turn it into a hot tent. It gives me plenty of opportunities to have my pals along, the family along, things like that. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing or not, but no, I can't thank them enough. I think they're going to send me a wee link, a link to the website in the description, and a link to any discounts they may offer. I'll stick that in the description as well. So hopefully they're not affiliated or associated to me. I've got the tent, can't argue with that. So hopefully it's just a saving for yourselves, guys. If you fancy this thing, you can look them up, but it's absolutely fantastic. I looked up myself. There's a bit of money in it, but when you look at it and compare to other ones, I think this offers pretty much good value for money. The build quality, the canvas that I've seen tonight, I've not tried in the rain obviously, but something different, absolutely different from what I'm used to. So anyway, I'm going to enjoy this draft pint. I shall catch you in a wee bit. Cheers. Alright guys, how's it going? It's currently about 11 o'clock at night. I sat outside as much as I could after I had that second burger, but the midges, the first time of the season, have been brutal. So I've moved inside the tent, as you can see, plenty of room, absolutely fantastic, can't whack it. So I'm going to have this wee cheeky pint, or what's left of it, listen to some music, and then get to my bed. So I shall catch you in the morning. Cheers guys. Morning guys, how's it going? It's currently about 7:30. I've been up since 6 o'clock. Got a cracking sleep last night inside the little inner. What a difference that makes just with regards to light. I thought it would be total blackout, but it's not. But it's just enough to give you a good night's sleep. Certainly a lot brighter out here. The only windows I've got open are the 2 behind the camera just now, the PVC windows. So, aye, cracking night. Did we look out there? There's a few campers already packing up, and they've got the midgie head nets on and stuff, so the midges still must be wild. But I can thankfully say none have made it into the tent. I did close everything up last night, so it's done a good job. But no, cracking night. And the Can Villa, man, what a tent. Look at all the room I've got. I've got too much room. I've got stuff stashed over there, but I think I'm just going to do a wee slow pack up, get the bed stuff away, take down the inner and things like that, and then I'll get the tent away. But I don't need to be out here till about 11 o'clock I think, so I'll give myself an hour to pack everything up and get stuff back to the car. So catch you in a bit. Cheers guys. Oh, I forgot about my Turnix tea cakes last night, so I'm going to have one for breakfast. Why not, eh? And I forgot coffee, so I've got no coffee, nothing for breakfast this morning, so I'll see if the cafe thing's open across the road there. But until I get something more substantial, I need to just survive in tea cakes. I'm just noticing a wee feature of this tent. And there's the wee bit, if you're on a site with electric hookup, you can pass your cable through there. Right guys, I'm just going to start taking down the tent now. It's empty, everything's away, tidied everything up. Just going to do it in reverse order. I'll do the guy lines first, drop the centre poles, drop the front door, unpeg the base, and then lift the ground sheet. Simple, eh? Just to show you, if you don't have a hammer with a hook in the end of it, the pegs go through themselves like that, so you can use that for extracting the pegs. Got a good wee touch that. Here comes the hard bit. Oh man, see how this goes. And this is why I kept the footprint out of the main tent, because it's soaking underneath, so I'll take this home and dry it in the garage. Thankfully, the tent is dry. I'd imagine that'd be a nightmare to dry out. It would take up the whole garage. Right guys, that's me all packed up. As you can see, bit of a struggle getting the tent in the back, but I've managed to do that. I've got the ground sheet in there as well, albeit separate, but I do need to dry that out, as I said. So you can let us know what you think about the tent. Leave some comments in there. The venue, Beinglas Campsite should I say, absolutely fantastic. Great pitches, plenty of room. It's got a pub, it's got a restaurant, it's got a cafe, it's got a wee shop, showers, toilets. It's got accommodation as well. There's big bell tents over there. In fact, I think they've got 2 tent box roof tents somewhere. They're on the grounds, just slightly elevated. There's camping pods, there's wee lodges, there's everything here. So if you are travelling north of Loch Lomond and looking for somewhere to stay, I'd highly recommend this. The main feature of this video was the tent, not so much the venue. And I can't thank KingCamp enough for sending that through to us. It's been fantastic. Can't fault the tent at all. So I'm just going to carry the stuff out of here. I'm not going to bother bringing the car in, and I shall see you on the next trip, guys. Cheers.